If you want to rocket your SaaS growth, you need something that can be automated, something scalable that increases the visibility of your platform, and something that grows at a rate at which you determine and can control. You can't keep relying on referrals, word of mouth, and the occasional bit of business coming in from all the different approaches you're trying. You need something solid, and the approach I'm going to talk you through today for B2B SaaS is the most effective method. And what it'll do is it will help massively increase your visibility and help you gain clients and users on your terms, have them coming to you instead of you chasing them, and will also be the most efficient method of growth you will find for B2B SaaS. Also, as a bonus, make sure you stick around until the end of the video because I'm going to tell you how you can gain exclusive access to a whole suite of resources that we have available to you to help you with your SaaS marketing. And I'm also going to give you some insights into things we've discovered when running these sorts of campaigns for other B2B SaaS companies that make the method I'm going to talk you through even more effective. First up, and this is a caveat, to use the system I'm going to talk you through, whilst it is very effective, you need to have a proof of concept. You need to have already sold your solution to someone and know what that process is to make it already work. If you're approaching this and you have no paying users, you have no clients, you have no idea how you would even acquire any of those things, then the method I'm going to talk you through simply will not work. To be able to scale something up, you have to have figured it out low end, and that usually means doing it manually, so you can figure out what the secret sauce is to make everything click first. Just a caveat, just so you're aware. So the solution to be able to rocket your B2B SaaS growth in under 50 days is essentially LinkedIn adverts. And I'm going to talk you through exactly how you need to structure the LinkedIn ad campaigns to make them really work for you, because most people approach this incorrectly. Most people think, well, we're a SaaS company, we want free trials and demos, we'll run a campaign on there for free trials and demos, and it doesn't work, and they say LinkedIn ads, they don't work. And that's because that's the wrong approach to take on LinkedIn. Not many people figure this out, but I'm going to tell you exactly what it is because we run it for plenty of people and it always works. This is essentially just a repeatable system, as any good thing is. So LinkedIn ads are very, very, very good for B2B as an early funnel lead generation source. Basically, if you were manually trying to acquire new users and grow your SaaS company, what you'd have to do is you'd have to identify people in your target audience, the key decision makers who have the problem that it is you resolve. Then you'd have to reach out to those people and ask them if they would like to use your services. And then that goes on throughout the process and eventually they become a paying client. LinkedIn ads take out the first half of that whole equation and automate it. And they make it very, very effective. So what LinkedIn ads do is they help you identify people in your target audience, your key decision makers, who have the problem that you resolve. That's the most important thing. And they warm those people up to you. You still need to do the follow-up. You still need to get in contact with them and have business development try and turn them into an opportunity. But by taking out that first half of the equation and automating it, you allow your growth to go from a time expenditure to a money expenditure, which allows you to grow at an accelerated rate. So firstly, what you're going to do is you're going to pick a piece of content that works particularly well and has been proven to work particularly well already. This is something that people genuinely really engage with. You can figure this out by one of several methods. First, if you have a blog, if you have a strong content marketing strategy, go into your Google Analytics and see which one of your blogs gets the most traffic. That is the thing that people are connecting with the most, and that is a solid foundation for you to create your piece of gated content, which I'm going to talk about to you in a second about. Alternatively, if you don't have that, you probably put out some content on LinkedIn. Look at what content has performed best on LinkedIn. That's whatever's got the most engagement, the highest view count, anything like that. Again, that shows that that content is something that people are actually interested in. If for whatever reason you can't do any of that, you don't have any sort of content like that you've really identified, there are some other things you can do, and if you've got no idea, just send us a message. There's a link in the description below and we can help you figure that out. But the other method is simply to run ads against multiple different offers, and you'll be able to find out what people are engaging with within about 2 to 3 days. So don't worry if you haven't already got the content, you haven't got anything that's been engaged with on a huge scale already, that's absolutely fine. There are other methods to figure out what you should be using in about 2 to 3 days. Examples of the type of content that I am talking about tends to be things like ebooks, white papers, toolkits, case studies, reports, and calculators. They are the things that tend to do very, very, very well in this type of situation. Also, this is very important. The piece of content you're going to be putting out there needs to be focused on the problem that it is you resolve. So let's say your solution is all about invoicing. The content you put out there should be all about how frustrating it is to invoice different customers and how you can resolve that problem. So that when someone's going to try and access that information, you know that they have the problem you resolve because they're interested in that and they're actively seeking content which is going to help them resolve that problem. This is very important. So once you've found that piece of content that you're going to be pushing that people are attracted to, you then need to pick a specific vertical. So this would be a vertical that you know is profitable for you. Your solution probably works better in certain industries, and even within those certain industries, your solution probably is a bit more profitable in one rather than the other, because one industry might have more buying power, one industry might have larger company sizes in general, and therefore it's worth more because the amount of users you get from one client is more. Pick a specific vertical, and by doing so you'll be able to tailor your messages. Most people go wrong with their marketing and their growth because they go scattergun. We are a solution for everyone, and it doesn't work, especially with marketing. With marketing and advertising for growth, you need to pick and be very specific. Don't get me wrong, you can run different campaigns for different verticals, but as we're starting out, we're only going to pick one to keep things simple. In addition to the vertical, you need to pick a specific job type you're going to be speaking to. So for example, let's say your solution tends to fall within the HR department. You can pick HR managers, you can pick chief of staff, something like that. You can also then target owner of companies. It's going to depend on a load of different factors. The size of the company. If the company is over 100 people, chief of staff would be who you go to. If it's under 20 people, you probably want to go to the business owner. Different things like that, but you want to pick the person you want to speak to. And the reason you pick both the vertical and the person you want to speak to is because your messaging will be different depending on those two variables, and it needs to line up with who you're targeting your advertising at. Next up, you have your piece of content, you know who it's going to, you're going to write ad copy that's going to really engage with people. And to do that, it's very, very simple. All you're going to do is you're going to write in the ads about the pains that people are currently feeling and experiencing, emotionally ideally, or you're going to talk about the benefits that people want to see that is going to motivate them to take action. In general, if you look at both of those sides, the pain tends to work better than the positive, unfortunately, I suppose, but try different ad types. If you're wondering, well, where do I find out what those things are? Then you base that on the market research you did earlier on in the process. If you haven't done market research yet, most SaaS companies have, and they've done it actually pretty well. But if you haven't, we have an entire video dedicated to how you run market research, and we have free resources around how to create a market research Bible for your company that you can use to generate ad copy. That is in a separate video, which I will link down in the description below. And on that video, in the description of that video, is access to all those free resources if you don't have them already. Next up is very, very simple step. You start running the ads. So you've picked your vertical, you know the people that's going to, you have the adverts, you have the piece of content, you run those ads to those people. Very, very simple. Leads will start to come in at this point in time. The content in the ads should obviously be gated, and I'm going to talk that through in a minute. However, people will start entering in their contact information to acquire that resource that you have. The information you can get and you should be getting are things like obviously their name, their email address, the company they work for, the size of the company, their LinkedIn profile URL, and their telephone number. Amongst other things, you can ask for specific things. And the way you would traditionally do this is by using LinkedIn lead forms, which again, I'm going to talk you through in a second. Now, once you've got that lead information, that's the whole of the first half of that process taken care of. You have found people in the vertical you know is profitable. You found the exact key decision makers because that's who the adverts are being displayed to. LinkedIn's the only platform that can do that. And you know they have the problem you resolve because your content is all about how that problem can be resolved. And someone is having to put in their personal information to gain access to that So it's obvious they have a real need to be able to resolve that. So then your business development team needs to take over. You need to follow up with these people through multiple different channels. And you can't just follow up once. This is what most people do wrong. They get the first half and they can actually really nail that first half, but then they don't follow up and it falls on its face and they say LinkedIn advertising doesn't work. The problem is they haven't actually done the other half of the solution. LinkedIn brings you opportunities. It brings you people who are interested, people who've raised their hand and said, oh, I might be interested. You do then need to do some extra work your side. Obviously, it's business, okay? So your business development team should follow up with them on email multiple times. You should call them. You can reach out to them on LinkedIn. You can start building relationships with them through methods I've talked about on other videos in this channel. Now, there are some bonus points I said I'd run you through at the start of the video, which I'm going to run you through now. And these are very, very effective and important, which is why I left them to the end. Because if you're still watching this, you really have some desire to make this work. I don't want to give this information out to everyone. So essentially, these are some things you could do to make this campaign and your ad campaigns really just skyrocket. Firstly, I mentioned this very, very briefly earlier. You want to use LinkedIn lead forms. LinkedIn lead forms are inbuilt to LinkedIn. You press one button and all the information is pre-filled. Most people try and run people to a landing page, but it doesn't work as well because people have to put in the information manually. They've been taken off the website. It's a bit of a faff. With LinkedIn lead forms, you can genuinely halve your lead cost or third your lead cost simply by using a lead form over a landing page. Additionally, fun fact, images work better than videos. So you would expect, as everything's going on the internet, for videos to outperform images, but on LinkedIn that's not the case. And the reason is the way that LinkedIn counts clicks on videos is basically unfair. So you want to use images, or you can use carousels. Test both of those things. And finally, you want to show the collateral in the advert. So if, for example, you're giving away a white paper or an ebook, you want to show an image of the white paper or the ebook as a physical thing so they understand what they're going to get their hands on. You really do need to display that to them because it helps show the value exchange and show what they're going to be getting. And the reason I can tell you all this, just so you're aware, is that my company, Tech Growth Marketing, we run LinkedIn ad campaigns for B2B SaaS companies. So we do this day in, day out. We have tested this so many times. So everything I'm talking you through is stuff that is tested and proven to work, and it's a repeatable model. Now, I really hope this video has helped you. That is genuinely the most efficient method for B2B SaaS to start really scaling. And it is so effective because essentially all you're doing is you're automating half the process and making it really, really, really efficient. You're warming people up to you before you reach out to them. There's all these benefits. Now, my company, Tech Growth Marketing, we're currently giving away free marketing strategy audits. So if you want to run a LinkedIn ad campaign, or you already are and it's just not working for you, or you have some sort of roadblock, whatever, my company might be able to help you for free. So in the link in the description below, there is a form you can fill out for a free marketing strategy audit. Anyway, I really hope this video has helped you. If you did enjoy it, please consider pressing subscribe or leaving a like. If you want to say hi, just leave a comment below. Even if you have questions that you want to ask, more information about what I've been through in this video, just leave a comment below and I will get back to you. Hope you're having a good day, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.